So I thought having my own backyard putting green would be a dream. No trips to the golf course, perfect putts anytime I wanted, no greens fees, no cart fees. But after living with it, I realized something most people won't tell you. This turned into one of the most expensive and time-consuming projects I've ever done. Today, I want to be real with you about why my putting green turned more into a headache than a luxury. I'll explain the real costs, the daily maintenance, and who this might actually be for. If you're thinking about building one, this video might save you a lot of money, or it might confirm that you actually do want one. So I built my first putting green on a whim in 2022. I wanted a place to practice golf and also test my lawn care ability to see if whether or not I could actually do this. I live in Illinois, so I knew going in it was going to be difficult. I chose perennial ryegrass because 1, I already know how to take care of it. 2, I know you can cut it really short. And 3, if I abandoned the project, the stuff could just grow back and it would match my existing turf. Where if I was growing creeping bent grass, then I would have a really big problem if I abandoned the project, because then I'd have this giant patch of creeping bent grass in the lawn, and then I would have to deal with that. So let's just start with the thing that nobody really talks about, and that is time. No one really tells you about how much actual time that this project is going to take you. This is not like maintaining a normal lawn. This is a serious project that requires daily maintenance. If you forget that daily maintenance, the turf is going to let you know immediately. A putting green requires specialized equipment, specifically a reel mower with a 10-blade reel or more. When you're cutting grass at around 1/8 of an inch, if you don't have 10 blades or more, you're going to get this wavy pattern in your grass and your putts are not going to roll very smoothly. And reel mowers are nothing like regular mowers. They require constant maintenance. You have to sharpen the blades. You have to make sure that you have good contact with your blade and bed knife. You got to make sure it's sharp. You're always making adjustments, and these machines are intricate. That requires you to have to replace many parts all the time on these because they're small and they break and you have to replace them, and it's time consuming. You got to go find the part, you got to order it, then it comes to your house, and you got to actually do the maintenance. Because I live in Illinois and the grass is really short, disease pressure is always high. In the summertime, when temps are in the 80s and 90s, you have to constantly monitor the turf every single day. Now, let me tell you, this is not optional. This is something you have to do or you will lose your turf. Because of the disease pressure, you're gonna have to rotate your fungicides. You can't just keep using the same fungicide over and over, or the fungus is gonna develop a resistance and then you're gonna have a major problem on your hand. So you're gonna have to buy a variety of fungicides just to manage that. And that gets very expensive, especially now with inflation and everything else going on in the world. Now, when the grass is this short, watering becomes critical. Once temperatures go above 80 degrees, you're basically watering this thing every single day. So if you're on a city water system and not an irrigation system or something off a well, you're gonna have a really expensive water bill. I've had summer water bills as high as $1,000. Aside from the reel mower, watering has been my largest input into the putting green. Now, watering is not going to be your only problem here. You're going to have to deal with pests. In the spring and fall, worm castings are a constant problem. If you don't remove the worm castings and you go ahead and mow, you're just going to smash them into the turf, and it's going to create this ugly, bumpy surface with brown spots all over the place, and then it's just going to look terrible and it's not going to roll very well. Not only that, I've dealt with squirrels trying to bury their acorns in the ground on the putting surface. They go in there, they dig a hole, they stick their nuts in there, and then guess what? It's over. You got a big brown patch of hole right there in the middle of your putting green, can completely destroy the surface. So this is kind of where the putting green stops feeling like a luxury and more like a job. Now, with that being said, I don't regret building the putting green. It definitely was a great way to go and relax after work. Could go out in the backyard, hit some chip shots, roll some putts. Sometimes the family would come out and join me. So really, it was a nice thing to have in the backyard. And not only that, when people would come over my house, they'd be like, "Oh my God, you got a backyard putting green? You're freaking crazy." And you know what? Yeah, I kind of am crazy, but it was a lot of fun and the people would give you good compliments. So it was kind of cool that way. So who should not build a putting green? Well, anybody that thinks they're going to get some type of return on investment with the time and money that they're going to spend on this thing. Also, homeowners who are low maintenance, you definitely shouldn't have a putting green. People that are on tight water budgets, you don't want a putting green. And basically anybody that just gets overwhelmed with lawn care, because really that's all you're going to be doing is lawn care on your putting green. So who should build a putting green? Well, golf diehards. If you love golf, sure, go ahead, build a putting green. It's awesome. You can go backyard and roll putts anytime you want. Anybody that is a hobbyist in lawn care, if you like taking care of grass, this is a great project for that. And finally, anyone that wants to trade their time and money for enjoyment, go ahead, build a putting green. So if you've built a putting green or are thinking about one, let me know in the comments below. I'd really love to hear about it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.